А сейчас
calculating how much growth there's been and where I need to trim his foot in order to take the proportions of the balance to where I want to see it.
Лошадку. Чистят ему, делают ему маникюр, как видите.
Not loose yet, mate. I'm okay. So.
Ну, ему, да, подрезают немножко. Делают маникюр.
Growth, and you can see Beanie has grown a substantial amount of foot. This is partly because we have shoes on him, so where a horse sometimes is barefoot, they wear away a portion of what, for example, what Beanie has grown here. But where we apply shoes for protection, then obviously all the hoof that they grow doesn't have a chance to wear away. So that tends to be why, obviously, there's... yeah, you can do if you want, mate. Yeah.
Значит, он был уже подкованный, только надо было немножко, как говорится, маникюр ему сделать. Это же, потому что уже отрос слишком такой, да, слишком долгий. Он объяснял, что если нет подков, может сноситься немножко, да. То, что отрастет, следовательно, это не будет так видно, но если уже подкован конь, если лошадка уже подкована, все, что отрастает, имеет шанс, чтобы сноситься. Следовательно, надо подрезать, надо делать этот педикюр. Мне кажется, моя подружка, которая имеет лошадь, она объясняла мне, что каждых 6 недель должна быть такая процедура. Так же, как девушки имеют педикюр там раз в 6 недель. Если сами себе не делают, значит, в специальных специалистов могут делать. Также и лошади, как настоящие, да, леди и джентльмены, раз в 6 недель нуждаются в педикюре. Ну, такая пилочка, видите, пилочка для лошадей.
As you can see, I've done the trim from underneath here, and then I'm about to turn him round so you can all see, and then I will do the next stage of the trim, just where I put him on the footstand and I dress the front wall, dressing we call it. We'll take care of flares, straightness of the outer wall, make it as solid as possible and as balanced as possible. So I'm just going to do a final check of flat and level. And I'm assessing through the centre of his limb here how balanced his heels and what's in front of it are to that long axis of the leg.
Он просто должен проверить, или везде длина такая же, чтобы лошадке было удобно. Да, сейчас ближе к нам его подведут.
Come in. Good lad. Good boy. You stand there, buddy.
Вот такая какую-то вещь имеют. Чтобы поставить ножку на него. Прикольный педикюр.
So I start to dress the front wall, and I want to make that as straight as possible. Make it the strongest structure it can be. Take care of any flares that can occur. Depending on how the horse weight bears through his feet. Bean's quite a symmetrical footed horse. Sometimes you can have quite a flare to the inside or the outside, and you want to get on top of that to maintain a strong shape.
Да, какой ребеночек там плачет, потому что, мне кажется, ему не купили очередного мороженого. Потому что возле этой машины с мороженым
So the
стоит.
shaping that I did from underneath regarding the thickness of the wall, I'm dressing to that mark that I made so that I'm not dressing too much out and I'm achieving the shape that I saw from underneath. Every step that we go through from the start, from the removing of the shoe, every step follows on, obviously, but we've got to get every step right so that everything lines up when we come to apply the shoe.
Nice, подожди.
You can have some of your. Right, so I measured Beanie's foot earlier this morning. Basically, you start with a straight piece of material, metal, mild steel, because it's got the best properties for your everyday horse from being able to shape effectively when hot, so that I can make a shoe, and also the admirable wear property so that it can withstand up to the horse's work that it's got to do over the next 6 weeks, whether that be on roads, concrete, hard ground, or in a school. Tom's going to pass around the bar section that I cut my material out of, so you can see what we call the concave section that we make the shoes out of.
Для обработки их
Like I say, it's the most common
копыт и потом для подковки.
Steel section that we use. Like I say, it's the most versatile. It's got the best properties for your everyday riding horse. Maybe what I didn't mention before is it's got a fuller groove running through its centre, which provides the grip that is very important for horses that require shoes.
Ты этого не делаешь. Да, Анастасия хочет воды, мама сейчас ей даст.
Putting the toe bend in now,
мыли ей ручку.
and all the way through trimming bean,
Мама тебе даст сейчас.
built an image in my head of what my shoe is going to need to be shaped like. So, right down from the width of the toe to the space at the heels.
Настя, давай, пей свою воду.
Yeah, we've got to get the metal hot because it makes it so much easier to shape.
Там не видно.
That's what my furnace is for in the back of the van.
Там тоже не видно. Не видно там.
So I'm just checking my toe, make sure it's balanced. It's all about balance and symmetry when you're shoemaking. Getting everything even. Marking my toenails now. Point of reference for the rest of the shoe.
А сейчас лучше видно. Настя! Настя!
So that's my toe bend done and my toenail set up. So I'm going to start with the outside branch of my shoe. We'll put the heel on. Close up the section of that heel. Get that hot. For anyone that would like to have a look down here, we've just got a selection of the variety of shoes that we can put on a horse's foot. From obviously the everyday concave section that we've got here, right down to different styles of shoes. So this is a bar shoe, a remedial type shoe that provides a lot of support. I'll pass these round. We've got plastic shoes.
Пластиковые бывают подковы,
we can apply beneath the shoe in order for us to influence packing and weight bearing to provide comfort for the horse. Pass round also, it's a machine made, not handmade, but this is hopefully something similar to what I'm going to make out of the forge now. There's a plastic shoe. So this would go below, sorry, the lady here has just asked what I would use this pad for. So this would go below a horse's shoe so that we can then weight bear off over a much greater surface area. We can also apply packing here. It's anti-inflammatory at the toe for whatever sole pressure or soreness that may be there, and also we can load out the back of the foot using dental impression material of all things.
Подковы используются, чтобы уменьшить, как говорится, вероятность воспаления пальчиков у лошади. Чтобы она сама себя не ранила, чтобы воспаления не имела.
So just putting my heel on now, closing up the section. Nice and safe. And then now in my next
Снова там печь у него есть, видите?
Going to form my branch
Где он
and put my nail
ставит
holes
эти
in.
железные подковы, они раскалываются, потом он их
And then I'll also measure it at the
кует,
same time.
как коваль, да.
You start with a straight
И потом,
piece
да.
of material that you calculated through the length and the width of the trim foot.
Потом будет лошадь подковывать.
And then you've got to calculate that straight piece of material onto a curved structure. So everybody has varying techniques amongst shoemakers, and no person necessarily has the same calculations, but as a rule you've got to allow a certain amount of material for that curve that's then put in. So for example on Bean today I measured his width and length, came out at about, say, off the top of my head, 12 inches, and then I've got to allow for the bend that I'm then going to put in, so I've added an extra 1.5 inches, 1 3/4, so that when I then turn the branches, turn the toe, and have my finished shoe, fingers crossed it fits, yeah? Otherwise I've got to start again and you'll all get balls. That's what this morning was for, to be honest. Did run out.
Сейчас он раскаленный.
So,
подкову раскаленную взял.
Putting in my quarter here.
Сейчас.
This is usually, where I'm visualising the widest point of the hoof. Put in a nice flowing bend towards the heel. Then using a combination of a stamp and a pritchel, I'll now put my nail holes in.
Ну вот так, и вот подковы.
So I mark my heel now.
Сейчас он покажет людям
The
подковы
rule of thumb
мальчик.
is roughly about halfway down the branch, at the widest point. Heel nails tend to be a little bit more upright with pitch compared to the toenail, due to the varying thickness of the horse's wall. It tends to be thicker at the toe than at the heel. Again, everybody puts different amounts of nail holes in their shoe. I'm just going 4 on each side. Give me a few options to make sure the shoe's on there nice and secure when I come to nail it. So this tool here is the pritchel, so the majority of the nail hole is formed by the stamp, and this is a fine tool just to take out the little square of material that I've forged down in the nail hole. So I'm halfway through. Now I'm going to measure my steel. Now I'll put a bit of curve in this outside branch. It should marry up to the length that I measured before. Yes. I'm there. I'm alright. Carry on. So inside branch now, pretty much a repeat of the same process. Except the inside heel is forged slightly differently from a safety point of view, because obviously the inside leg is much more vulnerable to the opposing limb, whether they tread on themselves and catch that inside heel. So I'll talk through it when I come round to forging it, but we do a little process called safing, which is basically curving around the edge of the steel, making it a much more chamfered edge rather than a flush edge, so that if they do stamp themselves, they're not going to do too much damage to themselves.
I think that one was a racing horse.
I've not heard of it. I was part waiting for it to get hot. I'm too busy talking.
Anastasia, do you want to have a look? Anastasia, try. Can I have a look? Can I show her? Anastasia, look. It was horse's toe.
What?
Yeah? Actually, a nail.
So,
Да,
one
это
thing I've
копыта.
not spoken about regarding this shoe
And
is
both of them can fit, yeah, but it's like made of different materials, isn't it?
Place a toe clip on.
All right. So which is difference? Do you know which difference between
This
those?
one's different because this was for a racing horse.
All right, it's for racing horse. This is
I'll
metallic.
be fitting him in the same shoe
Yeah,
today, style.
for normal working horse.
That's all down to one trim.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
I'm looking at the proportions around the centre of the
How long
skull
you are working with
and
horses?
calculating, as I mentioned, beyond that centre line, how many toe we have in
How
front
long you are
in
working
relation
with
to what we have
horses?
behind that centre line, because I'm lining up again to the joints that are
Not
above
for
it,
two.
and I want him to be moving in the most efficient and comfortable way possible.
It's beautiful. Thank you very much. Thank you for showing.
When placing shoes,
Да,
that
мальчик нам
point of
показал,
breakover, we call it.
что
That
такая
is basically
блестящая,
where the tip of the toe sits, and
металлическая,
that's going to be where, as he comes
да,
into land
подкова.
and takes off in his stride, that's
Она
going to be the last point
для
at which
таких,
the toe leaves the ground. And the earlier the breakover, so the further back it
как
is,
говорится,
the quicker his stride is going to be. So if I've got a horse
лошадей,
like Beanie,
таких лошадей,
who, as
которые
his
в
foot
соревнованиях
is, it's
участвуют,
quite narrow
и
compared to how
та
long it is.
такая
I need to
подкова,
increase breakover and
которая
put a toe clip on that side
была
of the foot,
сделана
which
из
would be
такого темного
counterintuitive,
материала,
because
это
it'd
для
be like
обычной
exaggerated here, but it'd
рабочих
be like us
лошадей.
trying to